and like probably 40–50% of my time maintaining that project or that idea is through server administration. So you, the backside, the bad side of it, you're the only one that has the idea and actually doing something about it. Okay? So you're a solo developer, or maybe you have 2 or 3 people with you, and none of you have any system administration work. So besides 50% of your time maintaining your servers, you also spend another 25% or more of your time actually learning how to do system administration work. Okay, you go to Google, you go to different documentation, you go to Stack Overflow, you go through all that process. I know the feeling, I do it all the time. Okay, so it's time consuming, so frustrating. Okay, and you always get threatened by time. Because you know for a fact that if you don't work on your idea fast enough, somebody out there is going to go ahead of you. Right? And most of the time, those people either have so many resources or so much money. Okay? Or even they can also con somebody to work for them for free. Okay? But somebody else will go ahead of you. And you want to be that person to go ahead of everybody else. Right? So how do you, the question is that most developers in the end when they just start working on the idea is that why am I doing this shitty work? This is the administration work where I should be focusing on product development, making new features, and something that most developers don't do but is an important requirement, business development. You need to go out there, market your product, market your app, do business development, get customers, things like that. So those things are actually more important than, don't think are not more important, equally important than with your product development. So you don't get to spend time on that because you are spending time on, oh shit man, I hope my server don't crash after this. Oh shit, I have to upgrade my exabytes. I was thinking, things like that. You just thinking about problems that is not really important in your app development. Okay? So Google, with their awesome team and the cloud platform team, came up with a very, very awesome solution that I want you guys to work on today. And it's going to be really, really cool. Okay? Besides their other products in cloud, this is the most coolest product for solo developers. Okay? For developers that don't have system administration experience, for developers who are just bloody lazy and just wanted to focus on their app development. Okay, so developers are you, right? But that doesn't mean that system admin don't have work. Okay, you may convert them to an app developer, right? But that's how it is right now because the cloud system administration work is slowly going to go up. So you have this awesome idea, you want to work on it, and then you just keep thinking that, I have to do system administration. So how does Google Cloud Platform help you? So Google Cloud Endpoints enables you to run a shared backend instance that can be accessed by different applications. And as you can see from here, you have your iOS app, if you're an iOS developer, you have your Android app, and you have your web app written in JavaScript. And then it uses the Cloud Endpoints client libraries to access all your logic and your APIs that is hosted on Google App Engine instances. So it's really, really that easy. So when I was doing this, one of my small side project, it took me less than 30 minutes to just get everything up and running. And I don't have to worry about system administration work at all. So this is one of the beauties of the Google Cloud Platform, especially App Engine. App Engine is a platform as a service, platform as a service, where it's very, really different than AWS, because App Engine provides you with the SDK and the tools for you to just write code, quickly deploy, and then you don't have to worry about maintaining your software updates. You don't have to worry about maintaining load balancing at all. It is different than using AWS. AWS, you set up your EC2 instances, you have to set up your ELB instances, You have to set up your EBS volumes. You have to set up all these things. They have very awesome tools like, if I'm mistaken, called, can't remember, it's like this template that you can actually quickly get up and running. But then again, you have to maintain those instances. They don't do that for you. But App Engine, they do that for you automatically and without you putting the extra labor. So that is the biggest difference. AWS is an infrastructure as a service, but it's not entirely a platform as a service for developers. Okay? So for App Engine, it's a platform as a service, and now they are introducing Compute Engine that is infrastructure as a service, where you can create virtual managed virtual machines in Linux for doing all those big computational data or computational work on the background. So if you want to compare between AWS and Google Cloud Platform, it's just the other way around. AWS, infrastructure as a service, and now slowly becoming a platform as a service. But Google Cloud, it starts with platform as a service and now becoming infrastructure as a service. So you as a developer, all that you need to know is you need to know PHP, you need to know Java, you need to know Python, and one last language which is developed by Google, which is called Go. So there are 4 languages that are supported by Google Cloud Platform, especially Engine. And if you know any of this, then you're all set. Okay? So to start, the benefits of using Google Cloud endpoints is very obvious. One is that you can launch your app for scale from the start. And you can utilize App Engine APIs like data store, man cache, tasks, images to do all those processing for you. You don't have to actually write code to do image resizing. Okay? One of the common things that I usually do when I do my development is that I have to write code for image resizing, and sometimes the code is very buggy. It doesn't work very well. But App Engine has that seamless API. You just call the API, send your images, and it will do the necessary things for you. So you don't have to think about those kind of things. And at the same time also, in App Engine, you can utilize Compute Engine using Managed VM. Managed VM is a hybrid solution where your App Engine is at the front of your backend infrastructure, and Compute Engine is at the back. So it becomes like a backend processor. And you can actually run different calls from App Engine to Compute Engine. So you don't really need to do any extra legwork for that. And the other part, the most important part for us developers who are very lazy, is that we don't need to do system administration work. You don't need to manage load balancing, you don't need to do software updates, you don't need to do server maintenance, you don't need to do scaling. These are the main benefits of using Google App Engine, and this is something that other cloud providers don't have. Okay? There are some exceptions, but most of the popular ones like AWS, they don't have this, because in the end, you still have to manage your instances. So, as a prerequisite, we're going to start our workshop now. You have to actually have Git. Git is what you call it, a version control software, distributed version control software, which helps you to manage your code and also keep it, you have the revision, track your code and also keep copies of your code on a hosted or your own platform. Okay? So first, in your computer, if you're using Windows, you can go to this website, git-scm.com, and install Git, right? And it has to be version 1.8 and above. I think the latest version now should be 1.92, if I'm not mistaken. And the second part is that you're going to have to install Google Cloud SDK. So like I said, there are 4 different languages that you can use, and choose which one that you're going to be you're familiar with. If you're familiar with PHP, you can use PHP. If you're familiar with Python, you can use Python. If you're familiar with Go, go ahead and use Go. But for the purpose of this workshop, I'm going to show you how to write in Python, which is a very easy language to learn. If you're not really familiar with programming, I recommend you to start with Python than any other languages. PHP is cool. I use PHP most of the time, but sometimes, you know, it just sucks. Okay? So, first you gotta install the Google Cloud SDK, okay, and then you install the App Engine SDK, and most importantly, the important requisite is you gotta have a Google account. Everybody has a Google account over here? You have a Google account?
Yeah, I have 3.
Okay, you have 3. You probably have 10
Two company ones and one my own.
So I'm gonna let you guys spend the next 15 minutes, okay,